Hey guys, it's Caleb. We decided to unlock this episode, I guess, due to popular demand and the fact that actually a lot of stuff has happened since we recorded it initially, and unfortunately, like with the other Gamergate stuff that we've covered, we are probably going to have to come back to the subject fairly soon, and we want to make sure that you guys are up to date on everything that we've talked about previously. That said, if you do enjoy the show, please do support us over at patreon.com/Western Kabuki, where this was just earlier today, premium episode. Thanks so much for listening. Hope you enjoy.
Sony, this means war. Woke mob, this means war. Grummz, you have my sword. So let's get this ball rolling and let's finally hashtag free Stellar Blade.
Censorship. We're tired.
Welcome back to Western Kabuki. I am joined, as always, by my co-hosts. June, how you doing?
Wonderful, as always. Wonderful.
Yeah, and I've been listening to past episodes to try and get better, which is an awful thing to do. I don't recommend it. But
I hate listening to my own voice, so I hardly listen to anything we record for that reason.
Yeah, well, that's all to say that I just did it again. It seems like every time I ask how you're doing, I'll interject immediately before you can answer with some stupid anecdote. So sorry about that.
No, it's we're still learning. We learn something new every day. Yeah. This is all about learning and growth and growing together.
Lifelong podcast students.
Yeah.
And Alex, how are you doing, pal?
Great. I went on Facebook and asked this guy if I could get a window air conditioner from him, and he was like, do you want 3? And so I ended up at a wholesale air conditioner warehouse in Passaic, New Jersey today, and I got 3 air conditioners.
Yo, you're set.
Nice.
You'll never run out of them. You're set for life.
Yeah.
To be fair, I need them for 3 different rooms, but I was like, damn, this guy really he knows how to upsell. All he had to say was, do you want 3 of them? And I was totally in.
We can sell you anything. Holy shit. Okay, I got to brainstorm something. I got to sell you. I'll sell you something soon.
It could be like literally trash from your garbage can, as long as you say, do you want 3 of them? And I'm
going to visit New York someday, and I'm going to bring like 10 bags of rice. Like 10 bags of 5-pound rice.
All right, sounds great.
Everyone needs rice. Yeah.
I'm sold.
We are also joined this week by special guest and friend of the pod, Dave at Airbagged. Is that how we're doing this?
Yeah. I actually I paused my game to be here. So
what were you playing? Were you playing Stellar Blade?
I have been playing Stellar Blade, but I've also been playing Fortnite and Hades 2. And basically every game that gamers are mad about right now, I've just got that in rotation, just making sure my finger's on the pulse, you know?
Yeah, you were preparing. Yeah. You were getting ready for this episode. You were getting in the culture.
I have the notes. I look like a crazy man. I've got like 8 sticky notes. Like, okay, where did Mark Kern start harassing people? Like, where did that happen? When did they first notice the lace was gone?
Corkboard on your wall.
Exactly.
Dave, I feel like we became friends, like passing ships in the night through the comment section of Grummz, which I think is very funny.
Oh my gosh. Every time I see your, I know, and I would see just Grummz, your replies, and just laugh out loud to myself because he's seething every time he sees it. And his little lackeys are like, is that all you got to say to him? Mm-hmm. He was a manager at Blizzard. Like, and I don't know if we're getting too far ahead, but oh man, I have so much lore.
That's okay. We'll jump
about
around.
This man.
Yeah. I was talking to some of the people in our Discord, and I was just like, people kept like trying to explain who Grummz was. And there was like this I don't know, 20, 30 minute long discussion of how do you even Mark Kern, who even is he, or like, how do you even sum him up? And it's like, all this is, he's this 56-year-old former game dev. He technically is current, but we'll get to that. Who has, his whole life has been reduced to advocating for extra pussy pixels in video games. And like, that's all he does all day is just complains that games aren't sexy enough or whatever. And all you need to say to a guy like that is his username is Grummz. So that's all you have to say. That's why I do it. Is everything that he says is just Grummz. He's just Grummz to me.
Yeah,
so,
no, while we I feel like you're in your own lane right now, Caleb. Whenever I see one of your posts that's just about him and the Grummz, it fills me with such joy because you've been paying a little bit more attention to the Gamergate, like this sphere of the Gamergate, like 1.5 era than I have. But whenever I see your Grummz posts, I sit down and listen.
I have a call to action to all of our listeners. Just think about, you don't need to fight with Grummz. You can't win. First of all you need to do is every time you see him on your timeline, because you said you'll probably see him in a quote tweet because you said something insanely stupid or sexist or whatever other things you want to attribute to him. You don't need to get into the weeds with him. He's the saddest, fucking most vindictive piece of shit spurned by basically every game company. His whole life is just this. All you got to do is say Grummz. That's all you have to do.
Say Grummz. Ask him how his game's going.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Ask him how his game's going. Ask him, hey, so were you the guy who stole the breast milk out of the fridge at Blizzard? Like, and nothing.
Okay. But let's start there. Dave, you're up first. How would you, who is Grummz?
Oh man. Okay. So he's a fella. All right. So I have personal history. All right. Let's say I'm connected in a way.
Sure.
Because he worked for Blizzard, right? He's a producer for StarCraft, one of my favorite games of all time. He then becomes a producer for Diablo 2. Another one of my favorite games of all time.
Amazing. Yeah,
Spent many an hour in middle school doing Mephisto runs, going crazy, trying to get the best loot.
Yes.
Then he becomes a team lead for World of Warcraft. And that, I mean, again, I'm not a World of Warcraft guy, but I still try to educate myself. I'm surrounded by gamers, capital G gamers. And he leaves Blizzard in 2005, right? And this is how I kind of found out about him. So are you guys familiar with Mega 64?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just did an episode on Something Awful, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
For the people who don't know what Mega 64 is, can you give a 2-sentence description of what they do or did? Are they still around?
Hilarious.
They're still around.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and better than ever. Oh my gosh. I will champion them forever. I literally, Rocco is probably one of the best committing to the bits guys that I know. But essentially, Mark leaves Blizzard, right? And he goes to do Red 5. He starts his company. And I didn't know, no one knew who Mark Kern was, but I'm watching Mega 64 as I do, because I love their podcast. They've been doing it for 15 years or whatever. And they do a Firefall Fest with them. So this is kind of like the first signs of Mark Kern cracking. Because this guy, he just didn't vibe with them at all. It's kind of like when you and your friends are riffing, right? And Mega 64, it's three dudes were on the stream, or 4 dudes, sorry. And they're riffing, they're making fun of the game a little bit. And it's all in good fun, but you can tell like he's not liking it. And he's trying to make jokes. He's trying to like jump in and be like, yeah, guys, goth, because they do a whole goth bit during the Firefall Fest video. I implore you guys to watch it. It's so funny. There's a 2-hour full broadcast, but there's like a supercut that I've posted a few times. But anyway,
to be clear, he's Firefall is a game Mark Kern.
Yes.
Oh
my God.
We're gonna get into Firefall.
Yes.
I watched this. I watched Firefall Fest. So this was back in 2012. This is 2012.
Yes.
I watched this when I was in high school.
You can tell I'm like losing my mind because there's so many things I want to talk about him. But that's my first experience with him, because I'm like, who is this guy? He's like a dork. Like he's not at that time, like gaming guys, like people who were in development things, they were like rock stars, they're like, oh, I'm Cliffy B. I make Gears of War, and like I wear, Chrome Hearts pants and Affliction shirts, you know what I mean? And this guy's just like a nerd, and they dressed him up in like zombie makeup, and Mega 64 being who they are, they're making jokes and all that stuff. And he's just like, at the very end, you know, he's like, all right, I'm done. I'm leaving. And like, that's supposed to be like the bit, but you can tell like he's starting to crack. He's like, they're actually making fun of my game. Like he bit off more than he could chew. And you can see it in real time over that 2 hours.
By the way, I'm looking at his zombie makeup right now.
Yeah.
It's
he looks
so
like the turtle guy, right?
good.
I like turtles.
Yes.
Okay, if you're listening to this and you if you're not doing anything important, just Google it. It's worth it.
Mark Kern zombie makeup. But he basically and I'm giving the high level version, but like he basically gets this bus. Everybody knows he's known for basically being this guy who complains, and he's wasted $3 million on a bus.
Yeah, that's what I say. Not everybody knows about the bus. Let's talk about this bus for a second.
Oh, geez. So I did a little more research on this and totally forgot that there is an episode of the show Inside West Coast Customs, aka West Coast Customs, who does Pimp My Ride.
No, fuck.
I swear, yes, it's a full episode on YouTube right now. And it's just 20 minutes of them building the ugliest, like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's a monstrosity. It has like 18 computers set up for them to like have little LAN parties. The first place they bring it to is Anime Expo 2012. So there's just like all these people in 2012 anime cosplay being like,
bus,
yay.
Google the Firefall bus also if you can, if you're listening. This thing looks literally like a porta potty or like an airplane toilet or something.
It looks like a fleshlight. It looks like a HR Geiger fleshlight. It's crazy.
I know we've been talking and I know it's a bus, but I really kind of want to understand what you guys want this thing to look like and what we want it to do. I mean,
from our perspective, it's not a bus. It's a mobile gaming unit, the MGU, and this is going to be the state-of-the-art MGU that will travel everywhere. It will go to conferences and trade shows.
No, it's obscene. It's so like looking on the inside too. I'm just imagining like this bus driving while these people are in these chairs playing this goddamn game. I don't know what is even this game. What is even Firefall?
They could not even drive it. It had to be towed everywhere. They only took it to. They only were able to use it like twice, and then it just kept breaking down.
Fucking way! I did not know that part.
If you do anything about if you want to just watch that Inside West Coast Customs episode, the last like 2 minutes are so funny because they have like a guy dressed in like Space Marine armor. And they're like making it a big deal. It's like he's putting the shield battery in, and it's so lame. It's like WCW 2000 levels of like just cringe. Just watching it, you're like, okay, there's no way that he thinks this is a brilliant idea. And he went on a meltdown. After that happened, he's on Twitter. 2012 Twitter, definitely a different place, but he's like, I wasted $3 million, but guess what? It was a good idea. Everybody's talking, you know. Any publicity is good publicity for me. Like, and that's like, those are like the first tweets that I had seen. Cause you know, I've been on Twitter I'm an old man. So relatively speaking, so like seeing that meltdown, I'm like, this guy is nutso. Like, what is going on here? And so basically, that's him in a nutshell, a very fragile man who that is people only remember him for two things. The Firefall bus and complaining that the women are not too sexy. And now, as of 24 hours ago, very mad that samurais are black.
Yeah.
So that's
we're going to get
breaking
to that
news.
too.
New development. New development. So before we move too far past Firefall, like this looks like one of those games that existed in the 2010s that was like a free to play game.
Yes.
But like and
Can
no
we
one
just
played
tell
it?
us what it is?
Yeah. Like no, like I'm just guessing just based off the cover that I'm looking at.
Give me your best guess.
Yeah. So it's like a free to play hero based shooter game, and it launched and like not many people played it, and it lasted for like 3 months, and the entire game got shut down or something like that. That's what it looks like.
Here's the craziest part. It was in beta for 2 years.
Okay.
So from 2011 to 2013, Mark Kern was kicked out of Red 5. And if y'all want to go deeper into that, absolutely. 2013, Please. He was kicked out, voted out by the board. He was the CEO.
Own company.
Yeah, of his own company. And then it officially released in 2014 and then shut down in 2017. It actually, by all measures, is like just like a middle of the road It's a MMO open world shooter, very Destiny-esque. It's like Halo and World of Warcraft put that together. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with Tribes, but it's more. So it's got a little bit of that. And, there were respected journalists and people that I watched, like Giant Bomb, they did a video on it. They're like, oh, this is kind of fun. But it just completely crashed and burned and was on life support for, I think, like 3 years from 2014 to 2017. And no one talks about it. No one talks about it. It has the logo even looks like the StarCraft logo. Like it's crazy to me that they got away with that.
This is the first time I've thought about Firefall and Firefall Fest in a long ass time.
Yeah.
This is God. This is awakening.
Go back and watch that video. It's so good.
No, I remember watching that video like over 10 years ago at this point, and it's golden. It's so good.
So he starts Red 5, and this is his whole thing. By the way, I'm on the Red 5 Studios website, and I'm looking. Still there, except if you go to the menu at the top, all of the pages on the menu still exist, but if you hover over jobs does not exist.
I wonder what happened.
Wow.
Yeah, apparently spending $3 million on a LAN party bus is not the wisest investment.
The fact that they had to tow it everywhere is so fucking next level. I can't take it.
It's just a cherry on top. That's a cherry on top of how ridiculous everything with Firefall seems to have been.
And with like the Grummz reply to him, if you just post the bus, it's like an instant block from him. Yeah. He's again seeds.
I gotta say, I'm shocked he's not blocked me, because every day I'm trying to work on getting my 10,000 steps in, and every day one of the first things that I do is I'm walking and I get real bored. It's walking up and down the same goddamn street for however long it takes. And I just go and I look through all of Grummz posts, his new ones, the ones that I missed from before, and I just respond, Grummz. And I want him to get mad and be like, why are you doing this? So I can just explain myself. And anyway, so
information pimp. He's like screaming at the sky. Curse you.
He's not replied to me once. I've been doing this for now a good couple months.
Yeah, it's been
a while. He's not said anything. He's not blocked me.
Yeah, no. One of these days, he's gonna have to. He's gonna address you in some way. He's gonna run out of steam. Yeah,
he's gonna run out of steam. Like he's moving grift to grift. So it's got to be. Yeah.
I stumbled upon you doing that like in the wild. It wasn't something you told me about, and what a delight, man. Oh my God.
I haven't really advertised this at all. Every now and then I'll quote tweet him or whatever, but like, I just have been doing this quietly for some time, waiting for him to get mad at me. But he's not. I have to give him credit. But I'm not going anywhere, bitch. Mark, if you're listening.
Also, but before we get too ahead of his history, Mark Kern's history, Grummz's history, I love that one of the most notable things about him is that he was like a Blizzard dev over 20 years ago.
Yeah, like that's his thing.
Like when you said he was a Blizzard dev, I was like, oh, like what, 5 years ago, 10 years? No, like 20 years ago.
His existence is the equivalent of like still wearing your class ring and Letterman jacket, but on the back it just has like a big G for like Gooner, and he's like, yeah, man. Remember those old times when I was like managing these teams of actually talented individuals? Like no one has a good word to say about him, and over this like last, I would say like 90 days of like really like being in the trenches, right? Because the thing is that I have a lot of friends who are like journalists, or they're in the gaming space, or just like people who play games, right? Who get targeted by him for whatever reason, because he just felt like, earning that 2 cents from Elon or whatever. And to see like how miserable this dude is like so fascinating.
Least happy person on that entire website. I believe that he's in like the top 1% of like people who are depressed on Twitter, and that's
damn. I've got some competition.
Yeah, no, I'm not far behind him, but I'm just like, God damn, this is the least happy guy I've ever seen on here. I don't think he's ever in a good mood.
Oh no, I mean, he had one tweet. Oh, go ahead.
I was just say it's quite the fall from grace from like of once very respected like games developer for lots of big games. He had like connections and all of this, and now he's just like some dude like wallowing.
Where are they?
Yeah,
where are they? Yeah. There's not a single respected dev, not a single respected voice in gaming that is like, yeah, you know what? This guy really speaks to me. It's all guys called like, Sonic Racist 1488 are like, yeah, Grummz, you really showed them. Or like YouTube accounts that have like 500 followers and like, look at this woke journalist. I'm going to scroll through my tweets and react to it. Pay me $5 or what. And while they're, their mom is screaming at them or whatever is going on. The thing with him like is like, I also just like take a lot of that personally too, because it's so easy to like not have skin in the game and just be like, yeah, he's a loser. Just ignore him. But like seeing people like Alyssa Mercante, who like works for Kotaku, like being like endlessly harassed because he's like retweeting, YouTube videos and being like, hey, this Kotaku writer, said that we should all die. And because we want more lace on our characters is like, you know what? I'm going to step in because I don't have anything to lose in this case. Like, what are they going to do? They're going to be like, oh, this white guy with red hair who claims he's Kate Bush's husband. Like, what are they? I'm not going to lose anything there legally or anything like that. But it does like get irritating to watch that happen in real time. Like, he's just a sad individual. I don't even know. I think the only time he ever posted something that was like normal was he was like, you know what? I'm not going to post as much. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to be a normal time haver and drink 3 to 5 beers. And I'm probably not going to post, but like 3 times the next few days. Literally 3 hours later, he's
right back
going
in the
off.
mix.
I love when people are like that. We're like, I'm just taking a break. I need to like relax. 2 hours later, they're back at it again. Nothing changed. That post is deleted. Yeah,
that is so crazy. Like, listen, if you commit to the break, you have to deactivate it for at least a week. Last time I did that, I was gone for almost a month. You just have to do it. Otherwise, you look like an asshole.
You do. And no one will let you forget that. No one will let you forget, like, oh, you're the guy that took a 2-hour break from Twitter. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Like, I can do that easily. I can easily take a 2-hour break from Twitter.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I understand. But then my mind is like, what crazy shirt can I post today? Like, something stupid just sparks in me. I'm like, okay, I got to post something. But like, just arguing all day, like, just
so miserable.
He is just a sick individual. And he is somebody who like, and I was thinking about this before, when you guys asked me to come on, I was like, like, do I have anything positive to say about the dude? And I'm like, one thing that I think about is like, you are 56 years old. You have all this experience, man. Why are you not like taking like young developers under your wing? Like, why are you not like trying to like speak to, people? I mean, he's someone who has all this experience, man. He could be doing good. He could be using his voice for good, or he could shut up and make his game. And he can't do either of those.
It's wild.
You had said earlier that nobody has a nice word to say about him. I have actually a really good network of game devs and executives in pretty high levels for different companies that I'm not going to out or anything like that. But I talked to a bunch of them, and I have been over the last few weeks, about Mark, and not one of them had anything to say. I'm scrolling through my text right now, trying to find this one, but talked to somebody who's been in the industry for almost as long as him, maybe a little less. And when I asked, what do you think about Mark Kern? And the guy was like, I thought he was in jail.
Holy shit.
I mean,
I thought he wasn't trying to be funny either, by the way.
So he
was not trying to be funny.
Was that the nicest thing anyone said about him? Was that the nicest thing?
The nicest thing that anybody said about him was like, I don't know who that is.
Amazing.
You were so blessed.
Yeah.
You were so blessed.
No, like the weird thing about him and like this like weird proto Gamergate, whatever you want to call this moment. Caleb, you said you weren't comfortable calling this Gamergate 2 still, but this like
not yet. I'll say this, it's going to become Gamergate 2, but it's still fledgling.
Yeah. So like in this moment, like there was that initial push with the Sweet Baby, whatever. What the fuck was that called?
Sweet Baby Inc. Yep. Sweet Baby Inc. Yep.
Yeah. So there was like that initial kickoff period where like all the old timers came back. Ian Miles Chung, even Elon Musk got involved. Matt Walsh even started like Gamergate. Chaya.
Flip teams, dude.
Yeah, all these like insane people were like Gamergate posting, but they all like after a couple of days kind of gave up. But Mark Kern, he's been like the main driver from what I can tell of Gamergate 1.5/2 2 in the works.
There's gonna be a John Henry style competition of like racism posting between Mark Kern and AI, and he's gonna win.
he's gonna be the computer generated racism. He's on track. He's like already almost. He's basically there. He already won.
Yeah.
Oh, in the last 24 hours, it's been unbelievable. Some of the stuff I'm seeing, because like I have blocked him just for like my peace of mind, because like I get
Grummz?
that itchy trigger
Grummz?
finger. I did, because I get that itchy trigger finger. But the thing is that I follow so many people that just screenshot him.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not going to give this guy engagement. So I'm just going to see the screenshot, make my little joke, ha ha ha, make people more aware of what this guy is, and like kind of move forward. Because I think he interacted with me once. And it was because there was a game, and I'm not like super familiar with the creator, but it's a Kenyan-born developer, right? He voiced a black character in Assassin's Creed, right? And he made this game to deal with the grief of losing his grandfather, right? And I was like, hey, this game is awesome. This is really shitty that people are like going after this developer because he consulted with Sweet Baby Inc., right? They found out. And he quote tweeted me, and he's like, these are the people that are coming after your games. Like they think it's all a race thing. And I'm like, buddy, come on now. You made it that way. You make everything in your head is race, white guys. Like if we look back, right. And just to drop a couple facts here, the highest selling games, right. We'll start with Minecraft. Steve, white guy, just saying. Grand Theft Auto 5. Yeah, exactly. Grand Theft Auto 5, white guy. All the Call of Duty games, white guys. They feel so intruded on, and they're like, oh my gosh, we can't have these white, like there's no more white guys in games. There's no more, no one is sexy anymore. These are all self-inserts of like woke developers. And it's like, dude, we had 10 years of bald space marines and we complained about it. Like, why is it a bad thing if there's like a black samurai, or you guys talked about Alan Wake, Saga Anderson being black? Like, what is the problem? It doesn't take away from anything. Sweet Baby Inc., again, is a consulting firm. They're just there to like make sure that like, hey, your whole team of writers is a bunch of white guys, and there are black characters in this game, and the way that you're writing this doesn't really seem authentic, and we're just offering a consultation. That's all. It's not about like, hey, here's a checklist. You guys got to put like, you know, a LGBTQ flag in here. You have to
blue
make
hair,
sure that
you have to have 2 pronouns. Yeah.
Exactly. And that is the boogeyman in their mind.
And honestly, it sucks that they're not doing that, because that would be awesome. That would make it.
That would be. There should be like more DEI focused games. There should be
more woke.
Yeah, more, even
exactly.
more. Yeah.
I mean, those creative characters, people go crazy in Elden Ring, and what if it was just like one white guy? Come on.
What are some of the sort of more high profile games that he's gotten upset about?
Do we want to just kind of walk through,
start from the beginning?
Through this, Caleb, is that what we were going to do? Kind of like walk through his involvement with this like moment the last 3 months.
Yeah, that's fine. I wanted to talk about a little bit more, as we can get to it later. That's fine. But the game that he is, I guess, still making.
Oh God, yes, please.
Kinda,
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Sorry, you can't even say it with a straight face. Even looking at the text of the game, I'm like,
fuck it. Let's get into Pussy Pixels, though. I've been waiting for this for weeks.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's do that now.
Yeah.
Would anybody like to start, or do I have to jump into this?
No, go for it. Hit us. Okay. You're the guest.
Stellar Blade.
Hashtag
guys.
Free Stellar Blade.
Hashtag Free Stellar Blade. Okay, so this game is made by a Korean developer who is known for mobile games. They have an excellent Time Crisis-esque mobile game. Anyway, Stellar Blade is a flagship Sony title, right? When I first saw it, I was like, this looks all right. Whatever. It's like a Devil May Cry-ish action game, right? Now, when this game was first shown, everybody lost their minds on the anti-woke DEI side, because they said, finally, we have a game that has a voluptuous woman and it's unapologetic, and she has a butt, and she has big boobs, and she's a Korean model. Take that, woke gamers. And then, you've probably seen the image, or like, here's the Last of Us sex scene, here's the Baldur's Gate, bear sex scene, here's Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn. And this game gets announced, and the reaction is pretty good. Like PlayStation, the joke is that PlayStation doesn't have any games, and finally they get a game. It's exclusive, and the Shift Up, the developer, makes this tweet that's like, the game's going to be uncensored when it comes to all countries, and they show off some of the costumes. And if you're not familiar, go ahead and look up Eve Stellar Blade. She's a very attractive woman. That's the thing.
Yeah, friend of the show, Hakeem would be going very nice to her if those were pictures on Twitter.
Hakeem's going wild on that shit.
She's an attractive character, right? And no one's arguing that. But these guys are using this game to be like, yeah, real gaming's back. Like, we've got boobs, we got butts. Now, the game launches, right? And all these guys, the chuds, as they're known as, are like, woke journalists are going to lambast this game. They're going to hate it. They're going to give it low scores. They're going to treat it like it's like the worst thing to happen to woke gaming. It comes out, everyone loves it. I bought it. I was like, this is actually a great character action game. Again, if you love Devil May Cry, check it out. So it comes out, and there is the people who got it the earliest, the Gooners got it the earliest. Like, oh my God, they got one hand on, in their pants, one hand on the PlayStation 5 controller. And they're like, I gotta see these costumes. Day. Yeah, PTO, and they're like looking through all the costumes. They're like literally they're scrolling through, and they see a costume that has been modified.
No,
it has lace. No, it has lace over the open cleavage area, and they added a little bit of fabric near her as a vagina bone region. We'll say pelvic region, right? And
someone fact
so that's one of them.
Fact check
yes.
that. Yeah.
Sorry. I am but merely a man.
Any doctors here? Fact check.
And then they add a little bit of cloth to another costume, right? And then they reduced a little bit of blood. Now, here's the thing: the blood that was reduced from the preview and demo that they released is like only happens in cutscenes when you finish an enemy, a boss, right? And it's like just for performance reasons. Like, people tweet games all the time. Demos are not the final product, right? Or else it would say final product. And these guys lose their fucking minds. Screenshots everywhere. Grummz tweeting, I cannot believe, have we been mislead? The famous typo. And all these images. I mean, I can't even imagine how sad it is to go in, take screenshots of these costumes, and then line them up, and look at them like Zapruder film style. Like, hold on, wait, go back and to the left. Wait, no, hold on. Her ass is like slightly showing. Like
these right wing guys love playing dolls. They have the what are the Pepes, the Pepes.
Yeah,
they have the Wojaks,
playing dolls,
Soy Jacks. Yeah, they love playing. They love playing dolls. These adult men.
There's literally charts where they're circling the centimeters of changes between costumes. Now, here's the thing. There's 70 costumes in the game, right? 2 were modified. The rest of the costumes, there's like costumes with almost full, breasts out. There's costumes with almost full ass out. They focus on these 2.
Let's keep it a buck. This is a very horny game.
It's a horny game. Yes. There are cinematics where they very much focus male gaze style on what she's doing when she's doing flips, when there's jiggling effects when you aim the gun. Yes.
It's the most anti-woke game to come out in years, is what you're saying.
Most it literally, I was feeling the racism and goiperness coming through my body. I was like, I want to agitate someone today after this,
I will change my profile picture to a little frog after this.
Yes,
I will.
I will reply to everyone with pronouns in bio, no matter what.
I'm going to start saying based.
Yeah.
Yes. And so, yes, it leads to this censorship outcry, and everyone on the other side is just, on the normal time haver side. It's like, actually, the game's pretty good. I didn't notice the costume. There's like 500 other costumes where they're naked. And Mark is like, you know what? I've done a petition for World of Warcraft Classic. By the way, yes, he got 200,000 signatures for a World of Warcraft Classic petition. However, the devs were already working on it. He had nothing to do with them going to create that. So he thought he could strike lightning twice. Another case of Mark being like, hey, I did it 10 years ago. I can do it again, even though he didn't really do anything.
It's Uncle Rico and Napoleon Dynamite. Bet you can throw a football over that mountain.
Yes. And this petition he starts is probably one of the funniest things I have seen in a long time.
What was it called? I remember seeing it. Like
Free Stellar Blade.
Free Stellar Blade.
Free Stellar Blade. That's right. That's the movement. That's the movement.
I'm not giving it away.
Dave, you haven't heard it yet, but you did hear some of the, because you could do a video testimony in some of the replies, which are very funny, and I used some of those as samples in the song that we open this up with.
Oh yes,
that's where those came from. I was wondering where those came from. Okay, holy shit. Oh, I love. I need to go. Like that's going to be a treasure trove. I need to dig into every single one.
Dude, I can make that song like 10 minutes of just like those guys. It's just nuts.
It was somebody tweeted Jeff Grubb had like posted. He's like, anytime somebody comes at me and like makes me feel bad for being in games journalism, I just go to that petition and watch the videos and feel so much better about myself.
We're not exaggerating, by the way. If you've not taken the time to go watch the videos in that, it's so fucking funny. I'm sorry, it just is. He's like, it's like some guy with like a cowlick in his hair, but he's also going bald, and he's like in some dimly lit room that he's probably not paying rent in because it's his parents or whatever, and he's just like, this is time for us to take a stand. We have to get more pussy pixels in. Free Stellar Blade. It's just like, it's just crazy.
It has the same aura as like the Riddler and the Batman, like those videos.
Yeah. These guys look like they could start a terror cell in a cave with cum stains all over the wall.
How many signatures has it got?
It has
about 80,000.
I'm looking, 89,000 right now. An underrated part of this petition is it's translated into like 8 different languages. Just a really underrated part of that whole petition.
Speaking of, and I'm not trying to do the whole haha look at me thing, but I did get some questions about when he did, because he tried to translate it to Arabic. And I ran Grummz through the Google Translate for Arabic, and there's actually a hotel that I guess roughly translates to Grummz. And so I responded to that with Grummz, and a bunch of people were asking me what I meant by that. And then also I got all these guys in Arabic being like, "Are you like what are you talking about this hotel for?" Anyways, it was really funny.
The other funny part about that is that he had like a 10-step plan, which was so. It was that same type of plan was Mega 64 did a video about Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball like 8 years ago, and they did the same thing. Like, step 1, don't buy games from Walmart, and like step 6 is like, we're going on a sex strike until they release the game. They never released the game. So to see that 8 years later, he's like, and one of the steps on Grumm's plan is like, we will print out our petition and hand deliver them to the shift up offices. And I'm like, that is such a bad idea.
No, he should do it. He should actually do that.
Yeah. Yes.
I would love.
He had a whole manifesto of like he's like, as a game developer, which you haven't been in how long, but as a game developer, I can tell you exactly how to get their attention. And he was just like, he had like, the whole thing of like snail mail is more effective. It's like kind of like when people say how to write your senator or whatever, but instead it's shift up, which is very funny. And
it's about 2 pixels a titty. That's it. Yeah.
There was also, by the way, it's not just 2 pixels a titty, because remember the other thing that was even before the outfits was there was like, because it's like kind of, I think, auto-generated like graffiti on the walls.
Oh, the hard R thing.
Hard R. Yeah. So there's like somebody wrote graffiti of hard, and it was next to another unrelated sign that said R. So in the game, you could potentially see hard R. And
that is in the first, like, I would say the first area of the game. So a lot of people did see it. Yeah.
Hard R obviously could be misinterpreted by Western audiences as being related to the N-word.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And like they probably didn't understand. And so when people like mention this to Shift Up, immediately they change it, which is like, you know, it's not woke. It's like, oh shit, like I definitely don't want that in my game. That's a normal, like it's a normal reaction. We
want to sell copies.
Yeah.
It's marketing. Like that's it.
Yeah, and so he was like, that was before even the titty pixels and stuff. He was like mad that they censored the hard R out, and it's like, why are you so pressed about the hard R, bud? What's going on
why?
there?
Yeah, why is that so important to you? Is that like, was your enjoyment of the game relative to the amount of like slurs involved? Like,
I mean,
maybe, but that's like kind of freak shit. That's like freak level shit. If that's true.
His dog whistle. That's like he wants to say that so bad, and like I get the side, because I remember when it happened, I was like, yeah, I get like a hard R rating, right, for movies. And I could see that a Korean developer, right, may not understand, or like, you know, it happened to be like that. But what is, there's no harm in removing it at all, right? It doesn't add, there's no environmental storytelling, right? There's not like an R.
That was literally just a mistake. Like that doesn't impact anything. But this is again, even before the outfits had come out, if I recall correctly.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
God damn.
So where did he go from? Where did he go after Stellar Blade then?
So
he's still on that.
He's a little still on it. No, there's another funny part, and this is like greatest hits of Mark Kern, baby. Let's go. So he during that plan, he's like, I am going to text. No, he says, Hung Tae Kim, who is he's the director and designer of Stellar Blade, right? He's like, we casually throw DMs back and forth, so I'm going to send him this message, and it's the most Eminem Stan, you haven't wrote me back, like trying to tell him how to, like, if you please change this game, we've been fighting for you guys, and it's like, you guys have not been fighting for this game, you have been harassing and attacking all these people, and I don't even think that the designer even responded back to him.
As far as I can see, and again, I look at his page pretty closely, I've not seen any indication that he's gotten a message back, at least that he's been proud enough to share with us.
Oh yeah.
So the Stellar Blade devs are just ignoring this entire campaign.
Yeah, well, not even that. They've released a statement, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dave, but like it was like, hey, these weren't censored. These were changed like pre-launch. Like these were just artistic changes. Yep. Yeah, this is twice that they made the clarification. These were pre-patch changes
from the designer.
Designer. So all this, like, because his whole thing was like, oh no, Sony is making them like censor these because of wokeness or DEI or something. We don't know exactly why, but for reasons, that's coming from Sony. And then the developer's like, no, we changed these like pre-launch.
You know, so all for of a guy who hates is for nothing. DEI so much, putting his petition in so many different languages seems awfully inclusive.
From the top row.
Oh,
that's really good.
We're gonna like wake up after this episode airs, and like a day later, all the different languages will be gone off that page. If I recall correctly, didn't he do something with Helldivers recently too? Wasn't he like going after? Like,
well, he didn't do that. He jumped on the bandwagon, and so
yeah.
The thing with Helldivers is this one was I refused to give it to ISIS in this situation. However, Helldivers was trying to make it so you had to like sign up for a PSN account.
Yes.
And it was completely unnecessary. I fucking hate having to sign up for extra shit. Everybody hates that as well. But he was like trying to make it his crusade, part of his crusade of like wokeness.
Yes. Trying to validate what he was already doing with Stellar Blade, which like that's the thing with the gamer gators or what have you. Like their energy is like they're so close to like getting the point where it's like, yes, we should be mad about things in gaming, right? Like layoffs, crunch,
microtransactions,
right?
All kinds of shit.
Yeah.
But what we're mad about is titty or, you know, and the Sony thing. Yes, that is unbelievable because you had this game that earned all this goodwill, right? You had the CEO of the company who was like on Twitter, pretty active. The CMs, the community managers, who now became targets because of this. And he made it seem like it was all him.
Okay, so he did a good job of that because I thought it was I knew at the end of the day what the like complaint was, but I thought that it was like there was a sphere focused specifically on the Gamergate crowd from him about like wokeness and like, oh, look at these women community managers who are ruining gaming. Like that was like his angle, right?
That was his angle, but there was also the part, and I don't think he touched on this as much, but a lot of his followers did, where a lot of the reviews and like a lot of the Helldivers community is extremely inclusive, right? There was that whole Starship Troopers discourse, which we don't even have to go back to, but we know.
Yeah, I want to skip that, please.
But the thing is that there were people in the community who were like, oh, what if they had like a cape that had like the pride flag on it? And like, there are these games where, please don't make it woke. Don't make it inclusive. Like don't make this game like more than what it is. And it's like, okay, man, like just, we're all role playing Starship Troopers killing bugs. Like it's not that big of a deal. Like if there's a pride flag cape in there or whatever.
It's endlessly funny to me that these people who claim to love video games so much don't seem to understand that like the inclusivity aspect is to, like, at the end of the day, like, sure, it is companies actually being inclusive, but it's really about like broadening the audience.
Yeah, it's profit motive. It's very, I mean, it's pretty cynical at the end of the day. It's cynical corporate profiteering.
So it's really funny watching these people who supposedly want video games and the video game industry to succeed trying to like self-sabotage and like make it worse. It's just so fascinating. Very weird to me.
Yeah.
So
let's see.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Alex.
I was just going to ask, like, one of the things you guys keep bringing up is the game that he supposedly put out after. What do we want to call his game? Titanfall? What is this game called?
No, we shall not disrespect Titanfall.
What's this game called? Fountainfall? Funnyfall?
No, it's called Emirate or something.
There we go.
Yeah, it's Ember. It's Ember, but M8ER. It looks like a bargain bin PS4 like robot. Like it looks like all the worst aspects of, I think this is cool. It's, you know what? It's the equivalent of when you're a kid and you're drawing like a jet and you're like, how many missiles and guns can I add to the wing? What if it had
twice as many missiles for some reason?
Yes.
You guys are selling me on this game. It sounds cool as hell.
Well, it's not out. You're going to have to wait.
Okay. Well,
years, I would imagine. When did he start this, by the way? This is after he got fired from Red 5.
This would have been right at 2017 when he started working on it. So it was announced, and he has not made any, or their team has not made significant progress other than doing like little open demos. There is actually a great account, Nick Calandra on Twitter. He's done some investigating on him and has been in his Discord, has played some of these demos, and it is just awful. Like none of his grifting, none of Mark's grifting, which is like crazy to me. Like, wouldn't you want to translate all that into like getting people to play your game, get some money? But none of his grifting is translating to the game. The account has 4,000 followers. The last video they posted of a play test is like less than 1,000 views, right? It's just nothing at this point. You go to the website, it's like AI art. Oh. It's just, you can just tell like all he's trying to do is like get these interactions and get this money from rage baiting or whatever he's doing on Twitter to just try and funnel whatever he's got on life support with Ember or M8 or whatever you want to call it.
Which is funny because for some reason, and I don't know how, because I haven't played it and I've only looked at it. It was very confusing. I didn't understand, but you can buy titty skins for something that I don't quite understand, because it's robots, but you can still buy titty lady skins.
Like I in his game offering that's not out yet.
Yeah. I think they're like avatars or profile pictures or something.
So
it's
your hot lady avatar can pilot the Gundam with 40 missiles or whatever. I guess that's what it is. But it doesn't really seem to apply in game yet. Although he's been selling them, some for as many as $1,500 fucking dollars.
Yeah. Yeah.
For his quote unquote
it doesn't apply in game because there's no game, right? Like to be clear.
Also it's a game, but it's like a play test. It's kind of like the Star Citizen situation where it's like you can like try it out, but it's not a full game. You're just testing. That's it. It's just testing at this point. It has made no significant
I was going to say, can I make a prediction? Can I make a bold prediction? This game will never fully come out.
Oh, of course not. No way.
It's vaporware. It's
If he thought it would come out, he would be pushing that. And said every now and then, Grummz will say, like, if you appreciate the work that I'm putting into this, which is like, what do you fucking shut the fuck up? But if you appreciate what I'm doing, the work that I'm putting into this, subscribe to me on Twitter. He's not even pushing his game anymore.
Not at all.
Yeah, no, I've been scrolling because I can't figure out what you guys are calling the game. I've been like trying to find his game on his Twitter. I'm back at, okay, I just realized I've been scrolling for like 5 minutes. I'm still on tweets from yesterday.
Wait, that's my Twitter. No, get off my Twitter. Get off my Twitter.
But no, I can't. I don't even know what this game is. Like, I don't know what this is.
So Nick Calandra, he works for a company called Second Wind, and the deal is that all of this Mark Kern attention was sort of popping off, and he was like, I wonder what's going on with that game that Mark Kern's been developing for 6 odd years. So he started looking into it, and he noticed all of these things where you can like donate to Mark Kern's studio, you can buy skins for the game, you can buy this, you can buy that. And then Mark Kern sort of was like, well, look at all the stuff we've got. And then he threw a bunch of stuff up on his Twitter, and he was like, I don't like advertising it because I don't want to use like my audience to get. And I was like, well, that's the whole point of having an audience, is that you get them to do the thing that you want to make. You get them to help you make the thing you want. And he was like, but I don't want to do that. I just want, but fine. If you want to force the issue, here's all the assets that we've been working on. And then Nick Calandra went through and was like, you posted this picture 3 years ago. And this picture is just a resize of a picture you posted 2 years ago. This playtest you're talking about has been out for X amount of time. And like,
oh God, how big is his team even? Is it just him, or is there like a team?
I don't even know.
No one knows.
I don't even know.
But then in like classic weird little guy mode, this was truly a weird moment. Is Nick Calandra was doing all this great reporting where he was just like, look, I see the way that you are mishandling this. And then there was one person in particular who had donated a ton of money to a Kickstarter for this game that again came out 3-4 years ago. Yeah, this guy Giga Bear,
guy who's always in replies defending him. By the way, no matter what,
he knows what Grummz socks smell like.
Yeah.
Yes.
I also think he knows where the bodies are buried, because the situation that happened was this guy Giga Bear there was like record of him on the Kickstarter being like, so is this game just never going to come out? Is that the deal? And Giga Bear, and then Mark being like, no, it really is. And him being very critical of Mark, and then suddenly turning around and like conspicuously defending him during all of this sort of awful discourse. So no one was very clear what was going on. And Nick Calandra was like, I believe that he was paid off. And then someone leaked some Discord messages to Mark Calandra.
Yes.
Which Mark Calandra then published. And then Grummz was like, haha, Giga Bear and I worked together to fake the whole thing.
In cahoots.
Yeah. I still don't understand that. Like, so you leaked screenshots of a potential fraud, and then somebody reported on that, and then that's supposed to be a gotcha.
The gotcha is supposed to be that he's not a careful or intelligent journalist. That's good. That's what it's supposed to be.
But Giga Bear supposedly gave those screenshots to him. That's his source. So his source lied to you. What else is he supposed to do?
He pulled a Drake moment. Like, don't worry. I'm just pretending. I was just pretending. I leaked to the press that I was a pedophile. I got you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I do believe the story that this guy was paid off, because I don't understand why.
I also believe that, because it doesn't make any sense. Their story does not make sense.
The Reddit posts were still there, and then he deleted them, but he was paid off. Like, that's it.
And to be clear, the reason that he would be an outspoken critic of Mark Kern is because he donated, and this is on the record because it was a Kickstarter, $15,000 to the making of this game.
Oh my God.
Years and
it's
years.
Worse than I thought. That's worse than I thought.
It's really bad. It's really bad.
How much?
He's indeed.
How much did he pay him off? He had to have like doubled that at least.
How many AI anime girl skins is that?
10. The answer is 10.
10. Okay.
If you want the premium one, if you want to see Areola, it's 10.
Okay.
Damn, 10 for just that. That's some low rates. Wow.
There we go. We were talking about air conditioners earlier. Let me sell you some AI anime girl skins.
Can I get those in Passaic, New Jersey as well?
Shit. Well, this this dude's kind of a like Grummz is a weirdo. He's kind of a sad. He's kind of a sad weirdo, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's kind of just a sad little dude. Yeah, God. And he's gonna.
I don't know if you know this, June. He he does VTubing.
Oh no! Oh, this gets even better.
He does VTubing, and it's his avatar in a French maid dress.
No way, dude.
Yes,
There's no
way.
way. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of erotic. I'm into
that. Okay, so not only is he a weird little dude, he's just a really horny weird little dude.
He's the horniest man.
Yes.
He's a generational pervert. You have to give him game. He's the Michael Jordan, dude. Nobody does it like him.
Yeah.
It's like the cum is backed up to his brain. He can't see straight. That's why he's so ornery. He's just the horniest man that's ever done this.
Oh God,
he's on a crusade.
His horniness is going to bring about Gamergate 2. Jesus Christ. Oh God, this is like end of times. This was written in the Bible. This was written in the fucking Bible.
Figurehead. This is the ultimate gooner.
Yeah, dude. When he finally busts, it's going to be the next flood.
Yeah. He has the arc. You'll be ushering in the groypers.
I was gonna say, is Ember just like him edging? Is that like the equivalent? Is that a metaphor? He's like, it'll come out any day now, I promise. We're so close. We're so close.
Oh God. The end times are upon us.
Jesus Christ, man! I feel like we just got started on him, but we're kind of like wrapping the hour, which is unfortunate. I will say this:
we can keep it going. We can, if you got more stuff, I'm down to keep going for a little bit more.
Yeah, we can keep it rolling.
Yeah,
we can go for a bit.
Yeah, if
Hades 2.
Yeah,
baby.
Yeah.
we gotta talk about Hades 2.
Hades 2. Let's do Hades 2, then we can wrap up. All right, let's talk about that.
Oh man! All right, Hades 2, sequel to Hades 1, one of the best games of all time.
Amazing, one of my favorite games that I've played in a while.
Amazing roguelike. It is based on Greek mythology, right? Everyone's sexy. I don't care what anybody says. But Gen Z character designer has really stylized depictions of these gods and goddesses. And the one thing I can think about, I feel like if these people who complain about the designs saw like Aeon Flux, their mind would fucking explode, because that's the kind of vibe that I get from it, where it's like extremely stylized, but still you know what these characters are about without even having to read or know anything or be a scholar in Greek mythology.
No, I know nothing about Greek, and like the characters are characterized in a way that is so crucial to their design in that game. You're completely right. Yeah.
And the thing about it is those designs you have to like, especially if you're playing the game fast, that game is a speed running game. So you want to know like, okay, this is what they look like. Okay, I got it. And I know what boon I'm going to pick, whatever. And you carry on with your merry way. Now, Hades 2 comes out. It's in early access right now. And there are 3 characters specifically that are the targets of the Gamergaters.
Can I guess the through line between all 3 of them?
Yeah.
They all have titties.
Oh, yeah.
They all have tits.
Hephaestus does not.
Okay.
But he looks fucking cool.
Okay. So they want him to have tits, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I've been playing the early access of Hades 2, and I am at I don't know about this particular controversy, and I am at a complete fucking loss about what anyone would get upset about. So I'm very excited to hear what's coming.
Yeah, please tell us. Yeah.
Whew. Okay, so the first thing is Hephaestus. He's in a wheelchair. That's woke.
What?
That is so woke.
Why is being in a wheelchair
famously known as being disabled, right? And the thing is like, no, they put him in a wheelchair just because they needed to check off a box. He looks fucking cool. Like, that's the thing.
Not only that, but it's like the first game had, a lot of characters that sort of talk like Valley Girls and shit. It's not like this thing is super historically accurate.
It's not real. It's not at all. Not at all. It's just a fun game. And Supergiant is like known for being masters at their craft for telling stories and having likable characters that stick with you. And so, you know, there's Hephaestus, and then there's, oh God, Hestia, the fiery grandma. And she has this really cool, like, I was not familiar with her, I'll be completely honest, right? But I had like looked it up and I was like, oh, so she's like the goddess of like warmth. And so she has like this brazier thing going on, and I don't know, you got to look her up. I'm so bad at explaining this, but she's like a grandma, right? She's cooking you a home cooked meal, right? Nice soup. Like that's the energy you get from her.
How comfy,
right?
Yeah.
But people saw that and they're like, they made her black.
What?
And it's like, that's it. That's their complaint. She's not hot. She's ugly and fat.
Wait,
that's their thing.
Aren't these characters like different colors, like red and like blue? Like what?
Yes.
What? How is
Ares is like, they're all stylized. You can't even really say like this, they're this race or that race. It's stylized looks, and they don't happen to be like white, right? Or fair skin.
This is like, I'm shocked. I did not clock this character as being like, I'm not trying to pull an I don't see color shtick, but like I don't really clock these characters as being racial, because they use both black and white voice actors, and they make the characters fucking turquoise and whatever. It doesn't make a difference.
And I think their expectation, like these guys are like, they're like, oh, they're gonna talk this way and they're gonna say these particular things, and it's like, no, man, like it's a game. Right? That's it. It's fun. The character designs are awesome. And that's why people enjoy it. And you see cosplayers, fan art, like it has a massive following. And this wasn't a big deal for Hades 1, right? No one talked about that. They just loved the game.
That game came out, what, like 6 years ago? There was no controversy at all. People were not this upset about this game at all. So, we're like in a different era. We're back to the like really reactionary gamer era again.
But I think the other thing that like is why people feel so emboldened is like we're in this like farming engagement for $15 era as well, where we are like rewarding people. Like, you know, you've seen it where people are like, oh, Sydney Sweeney is mid. So they're counting on like 8,000 people to quote tweet them and dunk on them. So they feel that like when they say these things, like I'm going to get the reaction I want. I don't care. They may not ever. There are plenty of people and throughout all of these games who don't even play the fucking game. They don't even care. They're just there to get a check or the YouTube subscribers or whatever it is, because they latched on to thing, you know, this, you know, whatever these losers dislike. So getting back to the Hades thing, Aphrodite, come on. I mean, do I have to say fucking anything? Aphrodite. It's fucking Aphrodite. Like her design, she has pink hair. It's like coming down in like 2 tassels, and they're like covering her breasts, whatever. Like, I'm not looking at it like, oh, hell yeah. Like, again, I'm playing the game with both my hands, as you should. But they're losing their minds because they're like, oh, she's a man. And they start the transvestigation.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, what the fuck are these people talking about? What?
And they're so mad that they now retroactively hate Hades 1 and are like pulling the design of Aphrodite from Hades 1 and be like, yeah, you see, it's always been this way. And it's like, where did you come from? Like, what is the problem here? So
I'm not convinced these people play video games.
They don't. And or their excuse, because they always have to move the goalpost, right? Is like, oh, I was already warned that this is, you know, DEI or SBI, and so I'm not going to play it anyway. It's like, so why are you even in the discussion? Let us enjoy and have fun. And they're in discussion because, again, they're being rewarded for it. You know, they're getting their $10 from Elon or whatever, and their you know, $5 donation from, you know, racist Sonic the Hedgehog 1488 or whatever on YouTube. So like that's their whole existence. It's like waking up being like, what can I be mad at today? And it's so sad because when we talk about like Gamergate 1, you know, that was 10 years ago. And we can sit here and like, it's so easy to like be like, oh, they're incels and like they're losers and stuff. But there are people who they have families, bro. They have families, and they are like, not now, son. I'm not going to toss a football with you. I'm not going to like have sex with my wife. I'm going to argue about the angle of a goddess's chin and how that is a man, and like it's just absolutely wild to
Not
me.
now, son. I got to transvestigate a cartoon character.
Exactly. And if anything, it's only brought more eyes to like the game. And Gen Z, like bless her, like she's on Twitter, she's just reposting fan art. People are doing cosplays, and like again, you look at a game like this, and it's like there's nothing like woke about it. Right. It's just a fantastical game, but they want to create something out of nothing because they have nothing else, no hobbies, nothing else fulfilling in their lives to do. Like we can sit here and say Grummz to all those tweets, and that's fulfilling. That's real shit. But going on somebody's post and like stalking, anybody who's playing Hades, like you have a word search and think our search alerts, and you're like Aphrodite is a man, like on every post, and it's like, dude. You're not going to convince. And what if she was?
Yeah,
he's hot.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to me. Like, what are you going to do now? It's like you guys said like something really funny to me. Where the last episode again. I did my homework and I didn't want to re-talk over anything y'all have already talked about, but make them play like a game where it's just black guys and woke characters with blue hair for just eternity. Just lock them up. Or, you know what? I want to create a version, a woke Mavis Beacon teaches typing, right? Because that's a fictional black woman, right? But in this version of the game, you have to retype out all the racist, sexist, transphobic shit that you, and 100% accuracy, and I want over 60 words per minute, by the way, and you have to send it to your friends and family and potentially coworkers. I don't know if you have a job, and you have to pass the test. And Mavis is watching you, motherfucker, the whole time.
She's judging.
She's judging.
And then your family will judge, and your friends will judge.
It's like go outside and just have literally no one is. If we all went to go get a beer together, I wouldn't be like, man, games are so fucking woke these days. Saying that out loud is insane. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Like it is so crazy because like you saying that, it's like I can only associate that with just complete like satire or like joking. But there are people who actually will say something like that and not try to get a laugh. They're saying that because that's like their philosophy, and that's just like so sad to me.
If your whole identity is going onto Twitter just to reply to every single Kotaku article, the articles could be like, Animal Crossing is free and we're bringing back, NAC 3 or something like that. They'd be like, oh my God, stick to writing guides. Like, this is why journalism is dead or whatever. And like, they're like, you guys are so woke. And it's like, wait, it's fucking Animal Crossing. Like, what the hell are you guys talking about?
Instead of doing that, Caleb, I'm going to join you and just start saying Grummz to everything.
Just say Grummz.
Yeah, I'm just going to
I'm telling you, just say Grummz. That's what's going to make him snap. Grummz. Just say Grummz.
If we can
that will break his brain.
Yeah, if that makes him snap, that would be so good. If we find out he just like stops posting for like a month and it turns out he's like in recovery, he's like in a psych ward. It's like, oh, I know it's the Grummz. I knew it was the Grummz all along. Yeah,
we're gonna scramble his brain so hard he'll become like a Pokemon and he can only say Grummz.
Grummz. Oh God damn it.
But yes, Hades 2 outside of that is a great game. Ignore all the bullshit. This is also goes for Stellar Blade. Both fantastic games, and it's not about like which one's better, which one's sexier. It's just if you are someone who loves playing games, you're going to like sift through all that bullshit and just play games. Like this is it's turned into like old school like forum game facts, like Xbox versus PS2, like and that they want to be on a team so bad when they don't realize like we just want to have fun. That's it. Yeah, that's it. You know.
Can
I feel like I need to turn my chair around and flip my hat back and be like, you know what, kids, let's just have fun.
Can I ask a serious Hades 2 question?
Sure.
So I heard that they changed the dash mechanic like they changed it from the first Hades game into like a different thing in Hades 2, and that really scares me, and why I haven't played it yet, because I'm really used to Hades 1, and I don't think I'm ready for a different dash mechanic. Is it like hard to learn, or like am I overestimating how difficult learning how it changed is?
It is strikingly different, the gameplay and the way it feels. It takes a while to get used to.
I'm scared. I don't know if I can handle that. That's a lot for me right now.
Well, that's none of my business. You just got to work that out on your own. But I'm just telling you.
No, get on stream. I'm going to watch you, and I'm going to make sure you play this game the right way. But it's fantastic. No, you'll get the swing of it. It is very different because the casting, the dashing is a major part of it. I feel like I never did like the sprinting at all in Hades 1 or anything like that. But they really... I gotta say, as somebody who put like 200 hours in Hades 1, Hades 2 is like right up there for me. And they're in early access, and it has more content than the first one. So,
well, I guess despite the wokeness, maybe I'll give it a shot.
Dave,
you better accept all those Aphrodite boons.
June, are you willing to play a video game that might feature a trans woman?
Oh God, okay, hold on. I'm gonna join Grummz. I'm gonna hit him up. We're tearing this whole thing down. I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for trans people in media and representation. That's woke. That's DEI. That is corruption. So
listen,
no.
Go woke, go broke.
Yeah, go woke.
I can't do it. I can't do it. You guys are putting them in my games so I can feel a certain type of way about myself and question myself, which I have not had self-reflection for the last decade since the first Gamergate.
And we're not starting now.
Yeah, we're not starting now.
Man, when you put it in those terms, it's so bleak. The idea that this is like a rebellion against
Yeah.
self-reflection.
That's really, like literally what all of this is. That's all what this is, though. Yeah.
Where can people find you?
Oh, me? Little old me?
Little old you.
I am on Twitter at Airbag, but I do want to take this moment just to say, Gita Jackson at Aftermath, please read their stuff. It's amazing. Khalif Adams, Spawn on Me. Blessing at Kind of Funny. Obviously, Tim Rogers, Action Button. Giant Bomb. There's a lot of great writers out there. Marginalized writers as well, who are doing great work. And you guys should check them out.
Yeah, Gita. Or is it Gita?
It's
Gita.
Gita, yeah. No, she's great.
Yes, amazing.
All right.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Thank you for joining us. This was a lot of fun.
Of course.
Yeah, we'll have you back after the
Gamergate 3.
For Gamergate 3.
Oh, yeah, when he turns into a Pokemon.
No. Yeah, wait, when Grummz turns into a Pokemon, because everybody listening to this is going to start responding to Grummz with Grummz, and his brain breaks, we'll have you back for a little victory lap.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. It's been a pleasure. We're really excited to do it. So, yeah, absolutely.
All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks, buddy.
All right, I'm pausing my game.
See ya.